All right, man. Cheers.
This is what I keep in mind. If opportunity controls your loyalty, then I can't mess with you.
Like, much in disguise, like he wasn't, but man, he was passionate, and I can honestly say, like, it made up for it.
You have a hot homegirl. She raises your bar. Like, she keeps you, you know.
And we're not talking about this.
She definitely, like I said, she'll definitely net better girls for you. She will.
Yeah. But now, have you ever kissed a guy in the strip club? Like a patron?
I've never kissed a guy, but I've kissed a couple girls.
You are now listening to the Men Don't Know podcast. This episode is brought to you by New Vodka. New Vodka, cheers to new experiences.
Oh, man. Welcome to the Men Don't Know podcast. I'm the man of many friends, your host and creator, Chris Boone. And here on the podcast, we talk with a married guy, single guy, and a guy in a relationship. And we ask women a bunch of questions that men want answered to over wine and cocktails. Coy, how you doing, man?
Hanging.
Right, quarantine season still full in effect. I want to shout out my sponsor, New Vodka. Cheers to new experiences. I can't thank y'all enough for rocking with me, as well as everybody else that's championing the podcast on preaching it and calling it the good word sometimes. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are too hilarious and funny. I just want to thank everybody that tells everybody else about it, whether you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, iHeartRadio, YouTube. I can't thank y'all enough. Spotify. When you send in questions or DMs on Instagram at Men Don't Know, Twitter at Men Don't Know 1, or if you're sending it through the website, mendon'tknow.com. Thank you guys. We really do listen, and we really do ask the topics that you guys ask us to ask, as well as this one. All right, Coy. Topic for today. I'll ask you this. Okay. Looking back at, I guess, past relationships or situations you've been in, can you admit to tell where you made the mistake now that you're grown and wiser?
Admit to who? Yourself?
I mean, yeah, I mean yourself. If you know someone asked, if you know someone knew that you're dating asked, could you admit to your mistakes?
Yeah, you can. Because if you don't admit to it, you'll never learn from it. If you're only thinking, if you're only admitted to yourself, but no one else knows, then what good is it really? Okay,
let me ask you this then. Name one mistake you made.
Oh, man. Put me on the spot like that?
Yeah, no, real talk. Come
on. Maybe not shown as much attention as I should have.
Nice. Okay. I like that. Because I feel like now doing the podcast and 83 episodes in.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Long time coming. I could tell you this. I could probably not only tell you the mistakes I made, but I could probably prevent all the mistakes I made, and probably been married 3 times over. You know what I'm saying? But
so you admitted to him too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to because of the fact that, if you don't, like you said, learn from them, like, when is a child going to be a man? But you know what? Let's,
some guys and girls are stubborn though.
Yeah. True story.
It was never their fault to begin with.
All right. Let's find, let's see. Who do I want to call? Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and call my homegirl E. Yeah, let's call E. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah, where is she at? Here we go. Let's call. Yeah, here we go.
Hello.
Oh, shoot. Oh.
One ring.
My gosh. E, how you doing?
Good.
How's quarantine season going? How's life?
It's amazing. The roots are growing.
Are we changing the hair color, or are we trying to hold on?
No, I don't know yet. I don't want to waste product right now. I got nobody to impress. So.
Wow, I got nobody. Well, I mean, it's true. I mean, you can't be mad for her to speak the facts.
You use black and white filter in all your pictures.
Yeah, true.
Exactly.
Okay, me and Coy have a question for you.
Of
course.
All right. So let me ask you this real quick. Since hindsight is 2020, could you look back on your past relationships and realize or admit, what you did wrong?
Of course.
Okay, so I need you to, last relationship. What did you do wrong?
What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
I opened my mouth and I spoke my mind. That's what I did wrong.
You can't, I don't know.
Is that wrong?
Coy.
It is in some relationships. I mean, men don't like that. Vice versa. Like, some girls just don't like that.
Oh.
So were you saying you didn't pick your battles wisely on what you said?
No, I was cheated on, and
By him? By that person or the one before?
yes, by that person, the ex, and I spoke up, and I guess I wasn't supposed to.
Oh, wow. So you weren't supposed to
That was
speak.
my mistake.
I mean,
But I guess.
okay, let me ask you this. Do you think there's something you did that forced him to go down? Well, not for, I don't want to use force word. That's the wrong word to use. Let me ask you this. Could there be some things that weren't done in the relationships that you overlooked that could have made him deviate?
Not at all.
No.
I think he was just in a position where he was forced to cheat.
Let me ask you this then. Do you think every guy given the position or given the opportunity would cheat? Your personal, this is your own personal opinion.
If what? Can you repeat that question?
If a guy was given the opportunity to cheat without being caught, would he?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Eventually, he will get caught. At least when they're with me, they always get caught. always. That's why I don't last with anybody, because it's like,
because you're a good
gonna
detective.
get caught. Exactly. But no, I think there's some good men out there that will stay faithful and loyal to their female.
Okay, go ahead, E. Go ahead. I appreciate that. Go ahead. Sound like she's talking about me, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, no, there is men out there that are faithful to their female. It's just really hard to find. Very, very hard to find. That's why I stay single, because the status always single,
Now, let me ask you this. Are you looking?
No, I never look. That's the problem. If you look, you're desperate, so you'll settle for anybody. Don't look. I don't look. I let
A lot of people need to take that advice.
Go ahead. Man, Coy championing you right now.
You just gotta wait. It'll happen. The day will come, but don't be desperate. Look for work. Yes, go ahead and do that. But you also have to, like, when you're looking for work, you're not gonna settle for like a little $10 an hour job or 11 hour. You gotta deny some of these positions, and it's the same with men. You can't just settle. Oh, I'm so desperate, I need a man. I'll just choose this dude right here, just because I'm lonely. I'm depressed.
But some guys and girls, they can't be lonely though. They have to be with somebody.
They have to have the attention, and they have to be with somebody 24/7. And that's when, that's when you hear, oh, she sleeps with everybody, or he sleeps with everybody.
Yeah.
Love thyself.
Okay, let me ask you this then. What have you learned from your past relationship that you are taking into your next relationship?
Not to settle for just anyone. That's number one. And number two is to have more self-respect.
Ooh.
Shit.
Go ahead now. Whew. Go ahead.
Not allow someone to disrespect you. I mean, one time, okay, I get it. We can work things out, and then it was a mistake, or maybe that person did it on purpose. But one time, okay. But once it keeps going over and over again, there's a pattern, and if it happened multiple times, it's going to happen again, and that person is going to take advantage. Well, she took me back, she'll take me back again, and that person will continue cheating or disrespecting.
How dare he get mad at you for calling him out for cheating?
Yeah. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait. Let's. No. She stepped over something. Yeah, we don't. We really don't. But she stepped over something. I want to clarify something.
Yeah.
So, is it a? Did you take him back? Did he cheat the first time and you forgave him?
It was so it wasn't my recent ex. It was the one prior. Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
Okay. No, something wrong with that. No.
I didn't have like solid evidence, but and then I did my little investigation, and I got
Mhm.
solid proof,
Mhm.
and I presented it to him, like a
Mhm.
pitch, and he was like, "Oh, okay, I got caught,"
Oh.
so it was like he can't deny it then.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. Would you tell any of your friends to forgive a man that stepped out by accident?
Depends how long they've been together and if
Mm.
there's a pattern, if a history of him continuing,
Okay.
doing that,
Okay.
But,
First
I mean,
time. I'll set the mood. I'll set the table. Don't worry about that. First time stepping out. 7 years. Let's go 4.5 years in. No kids.
no kids.
Yeah. Married.
I mean,
married.
But at the same time, you can't look at it as a free ticket. Like, okay, like
I'm.
she'll forgive me, free
Yeah.
ticket.
No.
But
I hear you.
married, that's complicated because once you're married, it's more of a sensitive situation
100%.
because, and then I'm not just talking about men. I'm talking about women too.
Yeah.
When people are married, they try to take advantage because it's like, well, she's not going to divorce me or he's not going to divorce me because that's complicated. So she has no choice but to forgive me. We're married. So, I mean, it's different in different relationships in history if they have kids too or they're living together, dating, whatever,
Right. So you got to pick a side. You telling her to, is she going to hit him with the biggie and give her one more chance, or are we,
It depends what he did too.
One night stand. A one night stand. Didn't know who she was. It was just a one night stand.
I would give him a hard time. I'd be like, "What I say goes."
Okay. So, as you should.
I make the rules.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, then go.
Okay. I respect that. No, I respect that. No, I respect that. I wanted your honest opinion. I 100% respect that. Because you don't know or can't ask, because, you're not in that situation. But I do appreciate you thinking it through and not just automatically set his clothes on fire, burn him in the bed, without, like you said.
Oh, hold on. You mentioned patterns, right? Patterns, but you're implying that the guy is always the one cheating on the pattern. Well, what about the pattern of the girls that always take him back? What about that pattern?
Exactly. And it's both ways. Sometimes it's the female. It's not always the guy that cheats. Sometimes it's the female and the guy just stays, or the other way around.
Yeah, no. But we are both subjected to, that. Men have taken their woman back for them, it happens on both sides of the fence.
I wonder if they have like relationship insurance. I'm gonna have to start asking for like some damage, down payment.
Relationship insurance.
You just pay the deductible and move on.
Damn.
Pay the deductible and move on.
You call and you're like, I just got cheated on. I need to open up a claim. This is the date that it happened.
Damn.
Some emotional damage.
Damn.
I'm out of work. A day or two. I need to get
policy
together.
Man, I saw you last night drinking that Don Julio too. I'm not even mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I
haven't been drinking Don Julio. It's been about a month, so I had to take a shot.
I'm not mad at that.
It's been a while.
No problem.
Cheers for that. But I can't thank you enough. I gotta call a guy and see what he says about everything I just asked you. But I appreciate you, and I'm gonna hit you up after this. Okay.
For sure.
Thank you so much. Seriously.
See you.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Man. Okay.
Insurance for cheaters.
Hey,
I got cheated on. This is my evidence. Cut me a check.
Yep. Boom. Code X. Let's get our guy in here. Let's get my guy. Let's get KP up in here. As one of our followers said, let's take him to church with KP. Oh, let me see. Hold on. No, you know what? Let's call Alex. Let's call one more girl.
Two girls to start off.
Yeah. One more girl. Where is she? Let's call. Yeah, let's call a girl. Hold on. Dang. Here we go. Sorry. Okay.
Hi, Chris.
Hey. Hey. How was poolside yesterday?
Oh, it got a little chillier than usual.
Well, you're on the
But I'm glad
podcast,
to have a pool.
right? Facts. I know it's quarantine season. You're here with me and Coy. Coy, say what's up to Alex.
Hey, Alex.
Hi, Chloe.
All right, Alex, we got a question for you. Okay, we just got off the line with another homegirl, and I figure I need to call you because you know, with all the relationship advice you have given us, this is another one that you could give us as well. So let me ask you this: can you admit to what you did wrong in all your past relationships and realize and admit it?
Yeah, I can.
Because hindsight is 20/20.
Oh,
Right.
So let me ask you this. What is one thing you did wrong in your past relationship that you would admit to?
They're all a little different, but I think the biggest mistake that I make now is that I think I put up with a lot more than I need to because of things that I've done in my past. I've always kind of been treated like a little princess, so I kind of like divaed out in a couple of relationships,
Mm-hmm.
And I walked away over like really petty things. And I think now as I've gotten older,
go ahead. Hey, we appreciate you admitting. Go ahead. Us men, we don't get this too often, so I thank you.
no
go ahead.
problem. And now as I'm getting older, like I think that sometimes I feel like I have to go through all this bullshit because I deserve it when I really don't,
Right.
So I think that's my biggest mistake now, that I've always been so quick to walk away because I'm kind of cute, so I have a lot of options. And now
Facts.
I think I
Go ahead. No, that's facts. We'll drop the law in order for you. Go ahead.
And now I stay places where I know that I don't belong or that I've already outgrown because I am older and I want to look for a forever. And so I think that's the biggest mistake now. Like I almost feel like I foster men for like their forever home, like I'm cheerleading until they decide, hey, you know what, maybe she is too much, or, I can't, it's not somewhere I want to be, but that's where I'm stuck right now.
Oh, I like that. Okay. That's good. That's solid. Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, let me ask you this then. Another question we asked. My homegirl E. We are talking about. Let's see what. You're married 4 years in, and he has a one night stand. Do you? No, not you. Your friend is married to her man for 4 years. He steps out, has a one night stand. Do you give her the advice to forgive him or go?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think when you're in a relationship, there's two people in it, and anytime you ask for outside advice, it's going to be wrong because only you know what you're going through in your relationship and only you know that other person.
I'm sorry. My bad. Go ahead. But no, I as you can see me, you heard Coy.
As for myself, if I found out my spouse or the person that I'm with, if they were cheating and they came clean and I didn't find out, from the streets or my friends or on my own, then I feel like you were man enough to give me the option to decide whether I'm going to leave or I'm going to stay. And, we all make mistakes. So if I have the choice, then I'm gonna, obviously I'm gonna look at all angles of it,
Right,
like
100%.
what led you there,
Yeah,
what can we work out if
Right.
there is something worth working out, or if I want to walk away. But I want to have that choice.
Mm.
And your friends are always going to tell you to leave them because they want to back you up, but that's not the right advice. It's not. Sometimes we just make a mistake. You have to move forward.
And let me ask you this. I just want to clarify. If you did go on moving forward, does now pussy run the relationship and not dick?
If you what?
I said, does now pussy run the relationship and not dick?
If you take
him back,
how long are you in control? Not if you're in control. How
long are you in control?
For? How long can you dangle that over his head?
Huh?
You know what? I think the minute that you accepted it happened and you decided to move on, then you made a decision to accept that it's a part of the past, not a part of the future. So there shouldn't be any control.
Guys, writing this down right now.
Right.
Okay, I get one.
It should go back to mutual respect. Like I don't want to be somewhere where I can't trust you. And if I'm going to live the rest of my life throwing that in your face or, having to blow you up if you go to the supermarket, then why am I with
pocket.
you?
I got this in the back pocket.
Yeah. So
I'm not even going to lie to you. There's probably a bunch of guys right now rewinding and writing this down as she says it.
Get away with one?
Yeah, no, not even that. You can't hold, hold this over my head. You took me back and we are now equal.
That's in the past.
Well, I wouldn't throw it in your face, but, you'd hope that you'd be, mature enough in the relationship that you'd learn how to move forward from it because you can't live in the past,
Move forward
you have to keep looking forward. I'm sure a lot of girls are hating me right now.
No. You know what? And the women that are hating you haven't ran into that situation yet where they had to make that decision for themselves. Because,
right.
I tell people it's kind of like what they say about when you own your home outright and you don't pay a mortgage, the grass, the grass feels a little bit different when you step on it. Because it's yours, and and the same thing applies to relationship. It's a little bit different when it's your relationship and you're not giving advice on someone else's relationship.
Right.
Damn, it's crazy. I liked it.
All the girls that are mad at her right now are just mad at themselves for taking them back.
Right.
Don't you take them back, but you did it.
Yeah, you did it too. We've all fallen victim to situations like that, though.
Well, yeah, and we all have people too that we're stupid over, and we stay a lot longer than we should have.
Hey, Coy will tell you. Coy will tell you. I probably look like Drake, like 10 years ago to Coy. So Coy will tell you. Coy could probably write a book about my life, seriously, and all the shit he's seen.
But until you see it, it doesn't matter who tells you it's wrong for it. Until you're ready to move on, until you're ready to pray for something better in your own life for yourself, it's not going to happen.
Blind is an understatement.
It's all about you when you're ready to make the move.
Blind is an understatement.
Do you think that comes with experience and age only, though?
I think it really varies. I mean, I have friends that from day one, they already knew what they wanted. I mean, they've been with their junior high sweethearts and are still married to this day. And they've been through some shit, but you know what? They knew that it was worth, holding on to, and they're still happy. So that's amazing to me, I mean, most of my friends, I'm 40, so most of my friends are, divorced.
Wait, you're what? Wait, you're what?
40.
You are?
Yeah.
No, seriously.
Yeah, I'm going to be 41 next month.
No, you are not.
I swear.
Oh, okay. Damn, you had me fooled.
Yeah,
I thought no lie. No lie, I thought even when I first met you, I could have said 32, 34.
Aww.
I mean, yeah, you had me. You had me
well, thank you.
No, absolutely. I'm gonna let you go. We got to start to get into some fellas and ask them the same questions we are asking you ladies, but I will text you in a bit. I can't thank you enough though, seriously.
Anytime.
All right, you have a good quarantine season. Okay,
thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, fuck it. Let's get to KP now. He the man with the, where is he at? He is the man with the, I'm not playing, but the situations I know.
Yo, what up? Let's get it.
What's up? We had to let that ride down. KP, how we living, man?
Looking good, brother. How about yourself?
Man, chilling right now with my boy Koi. Koi say, what's up?
What's going on?
Corey, what up?
Not much, man. Hey, man, how you doing quarantine season though?
I'm chilling, man. Just Call of Duty all day.
I ain't even mad at that. You got a bay, you do a quarantine bay, or you staying away from that situation?
Nah, man, I'm staying away.
Dang. Yeah. Why is that? Why? I feel like a lot of guys are staying away from that. Huh?
It's the law.
Yeah, yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm trying to just enjoy the time with the homies on the game.
Right. Right.
That's it, man.
That unapologetic time. You ain't got no one to talk to. You ain't got no one to explain.
I'm cool on entertaining someone else right now. I'm cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
I'm
so
good.
Topic at hand today. I gotta hit you with it. You ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, check it out. Can you look back at your past relationships and realize and admit to the mistakes you made?
Ooh,
Yeah.
I mean, now, yeah. For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I can. I for sure can.
I need you to admit to one.
For sure.
I need you to admit to one.
I was hella insecure.
Really? KP?
Yeah.
No.
This must have been a generation ago.
Yeah.
Man.
Bro. But I complete turnaround now, though. I think I got it all out of the way. So
Wait,
now it's the
what
exact opposite.
happened?
Man, I mean, my ex at the time, she moved out of town, and then she just got like a new group of friends, and she just just started turning up, being out all the time, and she was a great looking girl. Her friends were, whatever, but yeah, I was just man, insecure. I got insecure. Damn. She was far, she was in the Bay. I was out here. It fucked with me.
The distance and fucked with you?
Yeah, it for sure did. Her at the distance, and then the lifestyle she was living, it fucked with me. Okay. But I mean, I could for sure say I was younger too, so that's probably why I wasn't as mature.
Yeah. No, true. 100%. 100%.
Yep. Yeah, man. It took a while. It took a while for me to realize it and stuff, But I mean, shit, growing pains, bro.
Yeah, bro. You gotta grow through what you go through. Hell yeah.
Right, and it's crazy too. The crazy thing about it is, insecurity, man. That shit, it only really hurts you in the long run. You know what I mean?
Talk that shit.
It really only hurts you, bro.
Hey, like one of my subscribers said, "Go ahead, KP, take us to church. Take us to church, man. Go ahead."
Yeah, man. I personally think insecurity is the most that shit is the ugliest trait somebody can have, bro. That shit could just turn you off so much, man. So I don't even blame her. Looking back at it, I don't even blame her. So
damn, like that.
Like that, bro. Like that. That was my last one too. That's the last relationship I've been in. Almost coming up on 3 years now.
Wow.
Single. Yep. Took a lot of time off, man. Now,
was it much needed time off? Do you feel like?
Shit, man. I'm still on time off. Time off right now, man.
But you know what? Me and Koi always talk about this too. We always say some of our friends never give themselves time to clear their head and take time out of the relationship life to grow within themselves. They always hop back so quickly into another relationship before they learn.
Yeah, you have to take that time off, bro, because you figure the first, X amount of, I feel like you can't really put a time on healing, you know what I mean? Only you know what I mean? It took me a long time to realize that I was fucking up. I was insecure, and then it took me a while to accept it. You know what I mean? Then on top of that, just dealing with life without her. You know what I mean? So it's bro. You yeah, man. And then dating is cool. That's cool. You know what I mean? Dating multiple people, whatever. You know, when you're single, this girl that I follow, like, she just had posted too, you know, like, is it okay to date multiple people? You know, and I personally think it's good. Like, I think that's something you should do. You know what I mean? Like, you should do that. But like, as far as like jumping straight into a relationship, nah, you gotta figure yourself out for sure after all that.
Okay.
To clarify, he did not say to have 2 girlfriends. He said dating 2 to find out who will become the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Just clarifying that. Just.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, nah, insecurity, bro. That's what I fucked up.
That happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question. So your boy's been married, in a relationship, and married for 4 years. His girl steps out and has a one night stand, and he finds out. Do you tell him to stay or do you tell him to go? You can only pick one.
I would tell him what I think I would do in the situation. I think I would step away. I would go. I think it's easier to say it not being in the situation. So
100%.
I think I would step away because obviously, like you said, married, 4 years history. I would think I would step away and need some time off. I mean, I guess you would want to call it a break. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I for sure would step away. The first step is stepping away. You know what I mean? And fuck, because you got to learn to accept that. You know what I mean? Like, it happened. You know what I mean? It happened. And then you got to learn to, you know, either deal with it. Yeah. Because if you come back, you got to let it go. That shit can never come up again. Like, you gotta let it go. So that's it. That's it. Because once you bring it back up, it's just, it's toxic from there on out. So if you decide to let it, so if you step away and she still wants to pursue the marriage and shit, and you feel like that's what you want, better just swallow that shit and let it go. It's got to go. Who
do you think it's harder for to? Who do you think it's harder for to just let it go? Never dangle it, never hold it in your back pocket again to take it out.
I think for a guy, normally girls hold on to shit more, but something like that, no, I think a dude hold on to that.
He's
I think a
waiting.
dude is like, damn. Yeah, I think so. I think a dude.
Especially since guys lose all the arguments anyways.
Like I said, I would step away. What was that, Corey?
Guys lose a lot of the arguments anyways. They need that back pocket, that nuke.
Yeah, man, that's tough though. But yeah, like I said, I would step away and try to figure the shit out myself, and then you know, I would tell him that. Like, I personally would step away, you know, and then as his homie, you know what I mean? Like, to be a good homie, you got to tell him what you would do, but then you also gotta support him. You gotta be there. You know what I mean? Like, you can't.
Because the second you say fuck that bitch, and then they get back together, how do you look?
How do you look? And then you got Dro praying in the background, FDB.
Hey,
you know what I'm
good to see you again.
Yeah, man. Or like if they get back together and she goes out with her homegirls or something, and you can't be that friend that's like, you can't forget, like, you can't do that. You know what I mean? You gotta just
Damn.
You gotta accept. The guy's gotta accept that within himself, without outside noise, though, to understand this can never come up again. Because if you take her back for that after, then you've already played all the cards and evaluated everything that it's gonna be okay. You know.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the right way to go with it, because that's tough, man. That's oof.
And that's why we called you. That's why we called you, bro. That's why we called you, because it's deep.
Rough.
That shit is deep right now, bro. I mean,
that shit's deep, man. That hurts, man. But
I mean, a lot of people going through a lot of things right now, bro. So you know what I'm saying. That's why when they listen, I want they gonna be captivated, man.
Yeah, bro. Fuck. Yeah, it's real life shit.
Hell yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna let you go though, but I appreciate you, my guy. I'm gonna hit you up later. Because I want to hop on with you. I actually want to hop on duty with you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep. All right, man. I'll holler at you.
All right,
KB.
Good hearing from you.
All right, good hearing from you too, man. Like. All right, man. I don't even know why I'm gonna do this, but let's call my boy real quick. See what he dealing with.
Oh.
Yeah, B. All right, B. I know you busy right now.
We're sitting in front of a live studio. We just gave you that round of applause right there.
Okay, so straight to the shit. I'm with Coy. We are asking men this question right now, and women, but we're doing men right now. Can you admit what you did wrong in your past relationship?
Yeah, I can.
Ooh, all right. Tell me.
I think the number one thing I would say is not lying, no matter what the situation is. I think a woman would rather would hear the worst truth than lying about it. That's their biggest thing. That's what I learned from
lying and finding out.
Yeah, exactly. Because the thing is, for a woman, the more you lie, it's just like as much as it's as good as you're cheating on them. Lie can drag so far, and then because to them they feel like they've been betrayed by that lie for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Even it could be the smallest thing.
Yeah.
But if you tell them from the get-go what the truth was, then they could determine if they're okay to stay with the relationship, because that gives them an opportunity to forgive and forget, or or to actually hold it over you, and then just like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. You lied to me, and that's it. And it's like, because you at that point, then you're not dragging on a lie. You're right then and cutting it off. You said you fucked up, you messed up, you're confessing to it, and now it gives them the opportunity. Now the ball's on their court. Now they can make a decision on what they want to do with the relationship, right?
I'm glad you said she could determine, instead of you just saying, hey, as long as you tell the truth, then it's all good.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, if she can determine it at that point, then she's like, okay, now like she knows that she can trust me to know, okay, I can. If anything ever happens, come clean about it. He's not gonna, hold back. He's not gonna. I mean, it could be the small thing, or even it could be the biggest thing.
Yeah.
To me, like, I can remember my first relationship. One of the biggest thing was, it had to be my gambling, because obviously some of you guys know that I was pretty bad. When it came to gambling, I was a bit addicted back, even when I was younger. When my 7-year relationship was the hardest one, because that's when I first got addicted to it. And so, I would tell my friends. I would tell her, it's like, oh, I'm out with the boys. I'm going out, but I'm actually at the casino. Like, I just didn't want her to know that I was gambling. So, I would go on my binges, and I would not come home for a whole day, right? And then she's calling, not answering, and but then I'm telling her, oh, I just went out with the guys, and I just slept over my cousin's house or whatever. Damn. But that lie, is as worse as them thinking, you're cheating on them, or now they have all these ideas. Mm-hmm. I remember the last time I came home. I walked into the house. She had cleaned the entire apartment, completely.
Oh, bro, she
wiped out. Oh yeah, she mad as hell. So I walked in. I was like, oh fuck, and she just had this. Her first question, literally the first question is like, who were you fucking last night? That's how it was. So in her mind, it wasn't even about the gambling. No. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't even about the gambling.
So
it was more.
You feel even worse because it's not even about what she thinks.
Exactly. Now, had I told her, now that gives her an opportunity. Hey, we can fix this.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in her mind, she's already made up her mind, thinking that you're already cheating on her, and she's had this whole other different story that's built in her mind. But had I just told her, it's like, yo, I was not doing anything behind your back. I was actually, dealing with this thing that I'm, going through. Yeah. Had I told her that, I'm pretty sure she would have been it would have made a better decision for her. She's like, okay, you know what? It's not anything with another woman. Now we can make this work. We can fix it. So that was my fault for not, you know, being a man about it and letting her know about it.
Yeah. No.
Instead, you know, life can take a long way, man. It's really bad situations, and that's why you know, now it's just like, to me, I don't care what I did or did not. I will tell you. You ask me a question, I'll tell you the freaking God honest truth. There's no, especially in, you know, my age now. 38. It doesn't make sense for you to keep dragging on a freaking line. It doesn't get you anywhere good.
And since you brought up cheating, our second question of the day is: your boy's in a 4-year marriage, and
4 years.
4 years. He's married 4 years and no kids. Wife steps out and has a one-night stand. He finds out about it. He comes to you. Do you tell him to stay with her or leave?
Or if there's an in-between, what's your advice then?
Yeah, what's your advice? Yeah.
4-year marriage, no kids.
Yep.
Nothing, but steps out just for a night of fun.
Yeah. Well, yeah. She did. Yeah. She did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
he finds out.
Yep. Okay. So obviously in this situation, I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that she just wants to hook up. I think it just has something to do with you and her relationship, right? No happy woman is gonna go out looking for something else somewhere else
after year 4.
So yeah, after year 4, there's no reason to. You know what I'm saying? So obviously it's not something to do with her just going out there exploring. No, it's something to do with that she's not happy at home. Right. So at this point, I mean, I think it's, you know, when a woman cheats on you, she's trying to get your attention. You see what I'm saying? Because for a woman, it's the opposite, where she's just like, she's going out there to get the attention that you're not getting at home. Okay?
Go ahead.
So that's the only reason women go out and cheat, because, I mean, after 4 years, it doesn't make sense. Because in 4-year relationship, you know where you're headed to, right?
Yes.
So in that scenario, you come home, you're pretty happy, you go about your life, you know, you're doing your thing. But if you're stepping out and then you have the mentality of wanting to cheat, or even maybe she got the attention she should be getting from a different guy, and then she went with it, so she wanted to see how it feels to get that attention from a man, that this random dude out in a nightclub or whatever, that gives her the attention that she's been seeking from her man maybe every single day, that she's not getting it. So I mean, to me in that position, I'm like, what did I do wrong? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then, you know, I would have to put the blame on myself at that position. Not to say that she's a coward for going out and
doing that,
you know, doing the cheating, because she could have just easily come to me about it, talk to me about it first. But I think it could be that she's really got to a point, she's just like, she's not getting what she wanted in her relationship, so she's probably not getting the attention she wants. So the only way to show her attention is like, I'm going to go sleep with somebody else. I don't care, even if it happens, if it doesn't. But I don't think, maybe it also depends if she went looking for it or if it just happened. You know what I'm saying? Right. I think if it just happened, that means that she's not happy in a relationship, because she's got what she wanted always from her boyfriend, from a random dude. That is huge. That is just like, okay, you haven't given me this attention the last year. Like, I'm finally, you know, I'm feeling something good from getting from this random dude. You can't even do that. So I don't think you should be together. Honestly.
Maybe the guy just had a good table and bottle service.
Do not listen to Coy. Do not listen to Coy, and do not answer Coy's question at all. No? Hey man, I gotta get to the next caller though. I appreciate you. I'm gonna text you in a bit so we can catch up though.
No problem. Later.
All right, man. Later. Bruh. Let's get a girl.
Girls were writing down his advice. Yeah. If I'm not getting attention home, I'm allowed to go out there.
Bro. That was a lot. Let's call Ty. Let's call Ty back. She was good last time.
Your call has been forwarded to an.
Not that good.
I know. Let's try it again.
Are we bringing in Vaughn today?
I was thinking about it. But you know what? Let's hold on that. Let's bring my boy Jermaine. Yeah, let's bring my boy Jermaine.
YOLO.
Corey, do you notice all the cynical laughs from the guys when they hear the clap? Because they already know the drill. They like,
we are live in front of a studio audience right now. You hear
that? You're on a Men Don't Know podcast right
now. Okay, so check it out. Let me ask you this. So I'm here with Coy. Coy, say what's up to Jermaine.
Jermaine.
I feel like.
How you doing, man?
All right.
Okay, so check it out. This is a question we've been asking people. I feel like you're another good guy to ask. So check it out. Let's take past relationships. If in your past relationships, can you realize and admit what you did wrong in those relationships, or in the last relationship you were in?
Yes.
Okay, I gotta ask you now. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The reason being is that if I never, and this is something I've been doing for years, like straight out of high school type thing. Every relationship that I went through, when it got to the point of we're breaking up, I had to ask myself, whose fault is it? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it my fault? Is it their fault? Whatever the case may be. And at the end of the relationship, when it all falls apart, it's both of our faults. So I have to take responsibility for whatever might have happened. You know what I'm saying? On an argument, or maybe she had some quarrels, because nobody just gets mad for no apparent reason. Like, there's got to be reasoning behind it. So, yeah.
So let me ask you this. What did you do wrong?
In the last relationship?
Yeah.
In the past. It doesn't have to be the last one.
Yeah, just in the past. Okay. What was one of your faults?
One of my faults was communication. Right, so my
I
issue.
think that's just in general. God damn. All right, go ahead, elaborate.
My issue was, let's say as an example, right? I had a bad day at work. I'm an only child, so when I have a bad day at work, I just want to be with myself. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to talk about my bad day. I just want to vibe out to myself. But in a relationship, they want to know why. Why am I in a bad mood? Why is this going on? What can they do to help? You know what I'm saying? And before I just shun her off and be like, leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it. You know, and then all of a sudden we would get in an argument because she just wants to know what's going on in my mind. And I would never disclose that information. So that was a big issue of why we got into a lot of arguments, is because I never communicated my feelings or emotions to her on site.
Okay. Oh, damn. That's just good. All right. Last question for you.
Okay.
So your buddy's been married for 4 years.
Okay.
His wife steps out on him and has a one-night stand. He finds out.
Yep.
He tells you. Do you tell him to stay or leave?
Leave.
Just like that.
Bro, just like that?
Yeah, leave. If she's stepping out, then
it's one time.
If she steps out once, it's, you know what I'm saying, and she literally got physical with somebody else.
Yeah, she
doesn't respect that person she's with. Okay. She doesn't love that person she's with.
Okay,
and she has no desire to try to make what they have going on work.
Okay,
that's it.
Okay,
like, you cheat, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So
okay. Damn,
so yeah, so if I, like, if you know what I'm saying, like my man Chris, Coy, either one of y'all, if y'all was married, or even in a relationship, and I see your lady out there tricking in them streets, I'm snitching immediately, and we going out in town.
All right, man. I gotta go. I gotta let you go. I can't be doing this. All right, man. I'll text you after this. Okay. All right. All right,
take care.
Bye. Bro.
Cutthroat.
Buddy.
He's not even asking, what's the circumstance? He just, I'll ride for you guys.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh my gosh, Jermaine, please don't tell Chris.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Nah, you already gone.
His phone might be ringing right now.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Hello.
Ty, how we doing?
We are doing well. Can't complain. How are you doing, Chris?
Man, I'm doing well. I'm here with Coy. We hanging out.
That's Coy.
Hi, Ty.
So we got a question.
Nice.
Sorry.
I might. No, you good. I might got an answer to the question.
Oh, okay. So, and I'm sorry if I'm a little frazzled right now. We just got off a call, and it was just, it was a lot. It was a lot right now.
I'm about to say breathe. You can take a moment. You can breathe.
Man,
breathe a little
trust
bit.
me. Coy was looking at me like it was a lot, and it's always the guys. Like I knew he was a shoot from the hip type of guy.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
No nonsense.
So do we start with that question first, then, Coy?
Let's do it.
Okay. So check it. Okay. All right. So here we go. Yeah, trust me. All right. So
okay.
Your homegirl is married for 4 years.
Oh Lord. Okay.
David, you have a drink in your hand?
I do.
Okay, perfect.
What are we drinking today?
Perfect. Go ahead. What are you drinking? Oh, see?
Red wine.
See?
Y'all know how I do.
We'll cheers you with
some new vodka. Cheers to new vodka. Cheers to new experiences. Okay. All right. So check it out.
Okay.
Your homegirl is married for 4 years. All right. Her husband steps out and has a one-night stand, and she finds out, confides in you. Do you tell her to leave or stay?
What kind of advice are you giving?
Yeah. Okay. Coy's the advice guy. I'm the cut and dry guy. What are you doing?
Oh, that's an interesting one. Okay. So, all right, and then again, I like to reiterate just to make sure I got a good understanding.
100%. Go ahead.
That's just how I roll. I had to speak it back to make sure I got a clear understanding. So basically, again, as you mentioned, so married for 4 years, my homegirl, her husband steps out, has a one night stand, and I guess now does he tell her or does she find out on her own?
That's a good question.
See, yes. Okay, we are going with she. She finds out.
Oh boy.
Well, I would tell her to basically use her discernment on it because sometimes, people make mistakes. I mean, it's human nature. Now, if it's like, let's say, something that she just can't necessarily get past, or if he's not gonna, essentially, if this is gonna be repeat behavior, because like, I guess you could say if the circumstances was like, let's say if he was drunk or something of that sort, and he just slipped up. I mean, things like that happen. But it's like, is this going to be a repeat behavior? And then I think that too, maybe she should just maybe, again, use her discernment, take a step back, think things over. Because sometimes, again, people make mistakes. They happen. But now, it's one thing, the best apology is change behavior, right?
Go ahead now. Go ahead now. I'm not mad at that. Absolutely.
So,
go ahead.
So it's like, if this is just something that happens, he doesn't do it again, he learns. And I mean, 4 years is a long time. And I mean, I'm sure,
and that's married 4 years. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So who knows how, what the actual longevity of their relationship is.
Yeah.
So again, if this is just a one-time thing, he learns from it. And, sometimes it takes mistakes to really put in perspective how valuable your relationships are.
Go ahead now. Man, I'm going to have to buy you your next bottle of wine. I really might. Yeah. You know what?
Hey, cash out.
You know what? Hey, you know what? Like, all right, go ahead. And don't tell me your Cash App. Text it to me right now. And Men Don't Know is going to buy you your next bottle of wine right now on the right now.
Oh my God.
Right now. Text me your Cash App right now.
I was just thinking, I'm like, dang, this wine is getting a little low. I'm going to need another one.
Go ahead and text me your Cash App right now.
Okay, yes, sir. But yeah, that's what I would say. I would just tell her, because I don't like to make decisions for people. Just ultimately myself, I've always been like that. Like, I can give you advice all day.
Right.
I can tell you what I could do if I was in that situation. But since I'm not in that situation, I don't like to tell you just what to do.
Yeah.
I like to give you a couple pieces to think on and let you ultimately make that decision for yourself, because ultimately it's you, it's not me. You have to do it. I can't do the work for you.
All right. Next question and last question.
Okay.
The question is, in your past, can you admit to what you did wrong in your past relationships? Like,
I can.
Oh, you can't. Oh, okay. Tell me one of them.
Oh,
Yep.
Oh Lord.
Yep.
Okay, let me think about this.
Yep.
Like, because first of all, I will say, like, the way that I am, like, I'm a very much a relationship person, so I definitely put my best foot forward whenever it comes to a relationship I'm in. But one relationship I can say where, it was my bad. I had one guy. We were in college, and we talked for about 6 months, and then we got into a relationship. Well, and y'all, this might be another. I might have to bring y'all on to when I start doing stuff too, because this is real crazy. Like, my life is a movie. But anyway,
sound like it.
It
sound
is.
like it.
But anyway, so me and him again, we had been friends all throughout college. Started dating, solidified our relationship in June. And then, like, my ex-boyfriend, we weren't even, it was a situationship that went on for about 3 years. I guess he couldn't necessarily accept that, I was moving on with someone else. So there was a weekend that happened. It was like homecoming. And he had came down there, and, like, I had just really stopped fooling with him altogether. But, he was trying to get me back. So he came down, and, his homecoming again, those drunken situations ended up cheating on me. And at the time, now I did, like, the next day after, like, when I woke up and, again, from that drunken state, and realized, oh my God, this is not the person I'm supposed to be waking up with. I bawled my eyes out. I was just so upset, with myself. And in that same day or night, I actually told him, like, I was just honest. I was like, hey, this is what happened. I'm sorry. And, he was upset, but, that's just the type of person I am. I can admit when I'm wrong. And we actually still continue to date after that. Like, even to this day right now, like, we're still friends.
Yeah.
Dude, if he wasn't so selfish himself, that probably would have been the person I would have married for sure. But
what?
Because, yes, he's a really great guy, but he's just really selfish, and I just can't. I'm a very selfless person, so it's like, when it comes to me dating, like, my man, I have a couple of, I guess you could say, perspectives just because of how my dad was.
Yeah.
And a lot of the way that I think about relationships, a lot of guys aren't really, willing to meet those standards. So, he hit everything, but except he just, he don't want to, that, how they say in the Bible, you're supposed to be a provider and things like that. And I definitely don't mind pulling my own weight.
Okay,
but,
okay. Was going to ask about that, but go ahead.
That's a whole other thing.
I mean,
but yeah, we're still cool,
Oh, y'all are still friends?
Love for one another, so yeah, we're friends. We got love for one another. It ain't no thing. I kept it G with him, That's how I do.
Wow. See, thank you. Coy does not believe that. Coy does not believe you could be friends after a relationship.
Oh, why not?
You can, but you just shouldn't.
Oh, well.
Yeah, Coy's a cut and dry type of person.
I guess. Different strokes, different folks. Like, they're literally, this wine is against me. Literally, all of my exes, I don't have a problem with, except I would say 2 of them that I would just no. It's a no-go. But the other ones, like, the reason that I would say that, I've grown as a person. Like, I'm mature enough to know, like, to be respectful of, like, let's say I'm dating, I'm in a relationship, but I can respect, my relationship and still have, like, these friendships, or these partnerships with these other people that just so happen to have been who I've dated. Now, if the guy that I'm dating, if he doesn't want me necessarily to have those relationships, which one, it's kind of like for me, because I don't have any, like, romantic interest in these people any longer. But for me, it's like,
first of all, it's saying that you don't necessarily trust me. So that's one thing that I don't, and I try to.
It's not. I don't trust you. I just don't trust them.
Well,
or the devil inside them, shall I say?
Well, I can understand it, but that's also too, like, if you're ever in a situation where for some reason that those guys are going to be around, then I would want my man to be around too, so that he can be in presence of seeing that, hey, this is what it is.
Nothing
this
to
is what
hide.
it ain't. You ain't got nothing to worry about.
Yep,
I prefer, above all else, I want my man to feel comfortable, regardless of what I'm doing. So therefore, again, I don't have anything to hide. I'm going to bring him here. I'm going to bring him there. I'm going to bring him wherever I am because he's welcome, because again, I don't have anything to hide from him.
Facts.
So.
Well, I appreciate you, Ty, so much. And thank you again for hopping on. Go ahead and check your Cash App. I didn't send you enough money. Yep. I don't know what type of wine you drink, but I'm pretty sure I sent you enough to get a nice bottle of wine.
And you just have to send a video of you buying the wine to make sure you didn't spend that money
Oh,
on something else.
look at that, Lord.
Yeah, Chris, you send her the whole stimulus check?
No, I didn't. No, that's just,
man, that's worth 2 bottles of wine.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Maybe a little one. Ooh,
there you
yes,
go.
Lord.
There you
Thank
go.
you, Chris.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to be on the next episode.
And me and Coy appreciate you too. Thank you so much. Okay.
Oh, I love y'all so much. Thank
you.
y'all.
All right, you have a good night.
Making my Friday out of.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, you have a good one.
Holla back.
All right, bye.
On the next one, like, hey, what do you drink? I'm drinking Cristal tonight. Go ahead and send it.
Go ahead and send it. Yeah, let's call Rose. Let's call Rose right now. Let me see if I can. All right, here we go.
Every girl's gonna want someone.
Nah, I can only choose one. I can only choose one, bro. Seriously,
Hello.
Hey, Rose, how we doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. Just chilling with Coy. We just hanging out. And
Hi, Coy.
What's going on?
Not much.
So we have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me ask you this. In past relationships, could you admit to what you did wrong?
Not at the time. I think.
No, I'm talking about now. Now, could you?
Oh, now 100%. Yeah.
Okay, tell me.
100%.
I want to know what you did wrong.
Well, let me just tell you. So, I was in a.
Go ahead.
I was in a 6-year relationship, and we were engaged and months away from our wedding until I found out he had cheated on me and got somebody pregnant.
Well,
so we had to call off our wedding.
I mean, wait. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, we had to call off our wedding, and I had been friends with him way before we were ever in a relationship. He was one of my closest friends. So I was really disappointed that I lost, my fiance, but my best friend, really.
Right.
So about 2 years after we called off everything, I randomly ran into him in Vegas. It was so weird. And we were able to squash all of the BS and talk maturely after 2 years. And we were able to have the closure we needed. But initially when our relationship failed, I wanted to point the finger at him because he cheated and, messed up our plan of our future. But the older part of me, after I grew up a little bit and had 2 years, I was able to reflect and see what I was not really doing right as a partner, and not that it was right what he did, but I definitely realized I was a little crazy during wedding planning, definitely not treating him super great, not really giving him a say in things, but I was a pretty controlling girlfriend, not just during wedding planning, but in general. And I didn't realize that I was like that until I replayed a lot of scenarios in my mind of things that were happening between us in our relationship. And so I kind of feel like I took away his position as a man at times, to tell you the truth. I feel like...
Oh, no. We just appreciate you admitting to it.
No, I mean...
Because a lot of women don't. We appreciate you admitting to it. Go ahead.
No, I mean, and there is a balance, but I think that a man needs to have his role, and so does a woman. And when you take that away, you demasculinize him. So it's just...
I don't know, like when I looked back on that, actually ended up apologizing to him and admitting that, but it also made me realize how I never wanted to be towards another man that I was with out of respect for myself and the relationship. So, I mean, it's good to reflect on your past relationships because in the heat of the moment when you break up, you're just pissed off. You're like, I don't give a shit. You want to point the finger. Right. But when you actually sit back and I mean, every relationship that doesn't work out, it's two people. So when you're able to acknowledge what you did wrong so that you don't do it again in the next relationship, I think that really says a lot about a person. So.
Oh yeah, I was telling Coy earlier, and like I tell everybody else, I know to a T what I did wrong in all my relationships.
But did you do it twice?
I mean,
3 times?
I don't think I gave enough time in between relationships to learn from. I just kept doubling back and reverting to what I usually did, and common denominator.
Well, because you, like, I mean, as far as you, as long as I've known you, you've been in a few serious relationships, but you do date a little bit quicker. But I think that the Chris I've always known, you always treat women good, but I definitely think you're much more in a mature headspace now that you would treat them much differently, even better than you used to.
Even better?
Hey, Coy. Hey, Coy. Let him give me my flowers right now, Coy.
What's he gonna do? Buy her sell? Yeah, you did it. You beat me to it, damn it.
Go ahead.
Instead of 100 roses, they'll get 101 this time.
Okay.
Damn. Better yet.
Beat me to the joke.
You have to, what happened?
You beat me to that joke.
Roses. I know. No, but it's good to definitely admit. And I don't think people. You might say sorry to somebody that you did something, but I don't think people always love taking responsibility for who they are.
Right.
Because you don't like to realize that you are a reason you could push people away. But I think that when you're able to, it not only helps you out, but like I said, when I was able to apologize to my ex, I actually gave him the closure he was waiting for too. And sometimes you need to do that to help people move on in a much more positive direction. Because look at how many girls you guys might date that are like, oh my gosh, I've been burned by so many guys, or I was hurt by this guy. Yeah. Maybe they never truly got the closure and they dwell on that now. So I think that closure is really important to move on, but admitting your faults too.
Interesting.
He showed all of his boys when you said sorry, right? He was like, yes, finally.
Oh, I know. I mean, trust me, he looked bad after it all, but I think that when people would ask me like, oh, what happened? I would immediately be like, oh, he did this. But later on, like in my marriage now, when we got together and he would ask me, well, what happened? I would start off by saying what I did wrong, because it's not just one person.
Look at you.
I like that. Okay.
So,
very mature audience today.
The old Rose would not have admitted she did something wrong, because I have a lot of pride and I'm stubborn. But I think that is really important, because nobody's perfect. But if you want to be the best version of yourself for your spouse, significant other, you gotta know what you need to do, or what you could have done wrong in the past and need to do better now.
So you could be stubborn and still admit that you're wrong.
Yeah.
Sure.
And trust me, that's hard. Like, I even struggle in my marriage when we have an argument and I know I said something wrong. I'll come back to him and I have to, like, there's that, like, lump in my throat. Like, I need to swallow it and just be like, okay, I was wrong.
Hey, there you go. I
hate it.
Say what was that? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, right. This may only come around this century.
Can I hit this record button? Can you do that one more time right here, please?
Right.
No, but trust me, when I say I'm wrong, the minute I walk back in my room, I'm like, but I'm still right.
Oh. In her head.
Damn. Jesus.
I still win.
Yeah. So, yep, that's it.
Well, all right. We appreciate you. We can't thank y'all enough. We're going to let you go. I will text you in a bit, but I thank you so much.
All right. I miss you guys. I can't wait to have a drink with you.
I know.
Quarantine time.
Absolutely. Definitely. You will definitely be over. I thank you so much.
Have a good day, you guys.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Locks the door.
Right.
I was right, though. Just giving her.
Right. The giddy. All right. Let's
giving him what he wants.
You know what? Let's see if we can get your guy. Let's see if we can get your guy in right now.
We need him.
Okay. Let's see. don't even know what the
Give me phone.
Let's see if he picks something.
I need a righty.
Maybe not. Nope.
He's asleep.
Yeah, it could be.
Rest in the arm tonight.
Hey, bro, could be.
Please leave your.
Oh no. I should let it go and give his number. No, I'm playing. No, we're not doing
24-hour advice line.
Huh?
24-hour advice line.
Yeah, no, we definitely not doing that. You know what? Let me call my boy. Let's call my boy Daniel. Let's call my boy Daniel real quick and find out. Let's just get his opinion real quick and then get out of here. I want to end on a guy. Here we go. Let's go this way. And oh, that's the number. Okay, there we go. Pick up.
Hello.
What's good, my guy?
Oh, what it do?
Not much. I'm here with Coy. We just chilling right now. Quarantine season in full effect. I know you working from home. You got time for a question? I don't know if you at work right now.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So check it out. Me and Coy have been trying to find this out real quick. In past relationships, for a man and a woman, can you admit what you did wrong in the relationship?
Yeah. I mean, you have to be.
Hey, did he hold on to that? Did he? Wait a minute, Coy. Did he hold?
That sounds like he just admits it in his head, but he's not willing to.
Right? Was that jab step? Like.
Well, when the relationship is over, you just admit it to yourself, so you don't make the same mistakes in the next relationship.
Okay.
But during, you have to be. The way I see it is like it's like a pick your battles, right? So, if you can't be stepping out of pocket and not realize, like, a lot of times dudes will like think that she's mad about something else, or think she's mad about something and she's mad about something completely different. But if you don't take your time and listen, you realize what you did wrong. And so sometimes, like for me, like in my current relationship, I might do something and then instead of like, I'll like try to apologize for it or whatever, and then I'll step back and realize, oh, she ain't even mad about that. She mad about this. And have to go circle back.
Yeah.
Right?
You might be apologizing for the wrong thing.
Right. And that's the worst thing you can do.
I'm sorry for that thing. I'm sorry for that thing I did.
Right. And then she's still mad and you like, what the hell? And then you're like, she's like, I'm not even mad about this. You don't even know what I'm mad about. It's like, then you over throw your hands up like, what we just do here. Yeah, so you got to realize, you got to know yourself.
Yeah.
So that you know where your faults are. Like everybody has things within them that it's kind of like theirs, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, your partners.
Right.
So you can't expect that they're going to interpret things the same way you do, even though you want them to. Mm. So you got to be able to have self-reflection and self-accountability.
Mm. Okay. I like that. Okay. Tell me one thing you did wrong in your past relationship.
Ooh. I think
in your past, not present, past.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Oh, trust me. B was just on here, and he we ain't even gonna get into that. But go ahead.
For me, it's probably been like not communicating well enough.
God damn, fellas is just with the communications. Cool. What is going on?
Communication is not as strong.
And honestly, I think that another big thing is like assuming that she's going to be mad about something, like a result. Sometimes it's the process, right? So it's like you assume that she's going to be mad because you didn't do something when she would just be mad she's more mad that you didn't communicate like why you didn't do it versus just not like whatever it is that you didn't do, it can still get done. If you would have just communicated like why you didn't do it, like truthfully, even like I forgot to do it.
but you didn't want to say you forgot. So you just, if you would have just said you forgot and be like, my bad, I forgot, I'll get it done the next time, or I'll get it done right now, whatever. It'd have been better than just being like,
my bad.
My bad. Like, you start stuttering, trying to come up with something in your head that you didn't like. Like, she gonna be mad because I forgot. No, she ain't gonna be mad because you forgot. She gonna be mad because you didn't tell her you forgot.
You assumed. Wow. Assumption is the mother of all
assumption,
fuck-ups.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is. I agree. 100%. Assumptions, top 5.
Well, they say to assume is to make an ass out of you and me.
Yep. Facts. Right? Okay. Last question for you. Your best friend is in a 4-year marriage, and his wife steps out on him and cheats on him, and he finds out and tells you. Do you tell him to leave or stay?
Wow. I mean, it's sometimes a circumstance, right? Like,
thank you. First of all, thank you for taking the time out and acknowledging the situation. We had Jay Boogie on, and your boy. Let's just say he shot from the hip. Okay, let's just say he shot from the hip. So go ahead now. Continue, please.
Well, what I say is sometimes a circumstance, and what I mean by that is, like, you have to communicate, like, I don't know. Generally speaking, like, when women cheat, it's over. Like, they're done with whatever situation that they're in.
Yes.
And generally speaking, when men cheat, it's to satisfy a specific feeling or something like that. That's a general term. But so generally speaking, that being said, if she cheats, like, have you looked at yourself a little bit enough to find out, like, what is driving her away?
Go ahead.
And if you can check all those boxes and say you didn't do anything to drive her away, then bounce. Yeah, then bounce, because she didn't want to communicate that she was feeling some type of way, or maybe she's staying in the relationship with you for the wrong reasons, right? Whether it's financial,
way out,
right? And but she's getting whatever she wants physically and emotionally somewhere else, but she's only staying with you for financial or for security or something like that. You need to bounce. But if it's like, you're working 100 hours a week, you're not spending no time with her, and you're thinking in your head like, oh, I'm providing for the family.
Yeah, she got everything.
Yeah, you provided for the family. She got everything, but she don't got you.
Yeah.
So
go ahead, boy. Go ahead. Go ahead now. Go ahead and drop them gems. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you gotta. I would say before you make a rash decision, pop off at the hip. Nigga, my gun go off.
Look in the mirror.
Take a look in the mirror and make sure you right with yourself before you make that decision.
That's good.
No, 100%. I agree with that. No, I appreciate that. All right, man. I'm gonna let you go, man. I'll text you in a little bit and catch up with you.
Well, for sure, holler at me.
All right,
later, man.
Man, all right, bro.
That's good.
Yeah,
I think the what people should take away from this is it's up to the person if they can accept it and live with it. Look at every variable and say, you know what, we're gonna be okay after this.
Yeah.
It's a hiccup in our relationship.
Yeah.
But if you don't think you can, probably should move on.
And shout out to everybody that learned from their mistakes. Like you said, hindsight is 20/20.
Always.
So I mean, yeah. Bro, that was crazy. Like, some of the stories I heard, I was like, wait a minute. We live. We are on air, my guy. Man.
I gotta go, Chris. I can't talk to you anymore.
Oh, man. Once again, shout out to my sponsor, New Vodka. Cheers to new experiences. I can't thank y'all enough. I can't thank everybody enough for coming on again today, and everybody listening, championing this podcast on again. Oh, man. Quarantine season, we are getting through this, and as soon as it is over, everybody is getting merch.
Take one more shot.
I'm sending out the floodgates. Absolutely. We're going to take one more shot. But we out, Coy. Appreciate you, man.
Later.
This is what I keep in mind. If opportunity controls your loyalty, then I can't mess with you. Like, much in the size, like, he wasn't, but man, he was passionate, and I can honestly say, like, it made up for it.
You have a homegirl. She raises your bar. Like, she keeps you,
And we're not talking about this.
She definitely, like I said, she'll definitely net better girls for you. She will.
Yeah, but no. Have you ever kissed a guy in the strip club, like a patron?
I've never kissed a guy, but I've kissed a couple girls.
You are now listening to the Men Don't Know podcast. This episode is brought to you by New Vodka. New Vodka, cheers to new experiences.